All right, guys, welcome to another call. I actually just missed this call just so I can hop on this Zoom and record this for you guys. All right, so please appreciate this. I'll get to the intro after the call. Let's just jump right into it. I have no idea what this is.
Hi, how's it? Plus, I'm speaking.
Hey, Artra, it's Jordan. How you doing?
Oh, great. You?
Awesome, brother. Yes, I'm sorry I missed your call just right now.
Oh, no problem.
Awesome. Where are you calling from?
From the Bay Area.
The Bay Area. Okay, super nice. I'm down here in Southern California in Orange County.
Yeah, we're trying to get an office out there in the near future.
Awesome, awesome. So how did you find me and what made you want to schedule a call with me today?
Okay, so we're looking on YouTube under Click Sees, and then I saw your video, and then I said, okay, I want to get in contact with him so I can explain a little bit of what the problem I've been having and see if you can, if you have a program that will work with this. So basically, I'm in the biohazard remediation portion of things. And so I want to say a couple of years back when I first tried pay-per-click, and I didn't know the name of it. So basically, there are companies that pay people to call. So it looked like it's a conversion rate. So they'll say, is this such and such carpeting, cleaning, knowing that that's not what we do. And I would look and see one of the clicks. And then not within a couple of moments, someone else would say, do you do something we don't do, house cleaning?
You were getting some random calls, huh?
Yeah, just a whole bunch of random calls.
Yeah. And
then I was clicked out. So our budget is about $600, and so they would just click out the budget and beyond the budget. So not only was it 600, I think it went up another. I think I ended up owing 2,000 on that. So with that being the case, how would you prevent something like that, or do you have?
Great question, Artra. So did you try running this Google campaign yourself, or did you pay someone to manage it for you?
We do our own SEO stuff, so I know a lot about SEO, but as it relates to this specific problem that we're having, made me not. We're just going with the map area, the organic, and kind of been staying away from the pay-per-click for that particular reason.
Right. And I would too. I would too if I spent $2,000 and got a bunch of irrelevant calls. Right. Yeah. So no, I understand where you're coming from, Artra. Okay, so you tried running your own Google campaign and you were getting a bunch of random calls. Was there any time did you get a call that you wanted?
Yeah, there are. So the campaign was set up correctly. As a matter of fact, one of the Google personnel helped set it up. So it was set up correctly. So the problem is, by its being high niche situation, what we do, the companies pay people. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if it's called a pay click farm or whatever it is. They pay people to actually
to click on your ads to waste your money.
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
So there's a couple of things here. Now, number one, with every niche, I think they believe that. And it's possible, right? I mean, that is a possibility. Your competitors may be, clicking you guys out. So not really sure if number one, if you actually set up your campaign the right way, because honestly, sometimes if you do have a Google rep set it up, most of the times they have an idea, but they don't always give the best advice when setting up your campaign. And I've hopped on calls with Google reps before too. Their job is to get you to spend the most amount of money on Google, right? That's how they make their money. Okay, so that's number one. Now, the second thing with what the problem that you were facing, now, assuming that you set up your Google campaign correctly, it's running, the thing that you may have missed out on is that you didn't add negative keywords, right?
Oh, we have a bunch of negative keywords. That's the very first thing. So I'll just give you a rundown of negative keywords. So we have things like crime scene cleanup photos. We don't want any of that. We don't want crime scene cleanup schools. We don't want that kind of traffic. So it is very specific. Sometimes we have specific keywords, and others we let it drag a little bit to where it's a little bit more open. But at the same time, every single day, I think I had probably over 1,000 negative keywords. So
Okay.
yeah, it was set up correctly.
Okay.
It's
All right. So okay. So assuming that you set up your Google campaign correctly, you're targeting the right keywords that you actually want. Well, I'm not actually in your Google campaign, so I can't really tell. But based off of what you're telling me, there's probably 3 things that you could work on if you haven't already fixed it. But the first thing is obviously targeting the right keywords, using the phrase match, targeting specific keywords that you actually want. The second thing is just having the right negative keywords to prevent, house cleaning calls and carpet cleaning, right? You would want to have the word carpet, have the word house as your negative keywords. And then lastly, if none of that works, now assuming that your Google campaign is set up the right way, I don't know how you set it up because I would actually have to look at it. Then the last thing you would need to do is possibly use a third-party software such as ClickSeize, right? So what ClickSeize does is that it'll recognize robot clicks, right? Clicks that are coming from the same IP address. And what it does is it'll block that IP address. So that's something that we have implemented for all of our clients, just as a safety measure. So that's something we do often. We're actually partnered up with ClickSeize and they help us out with that. But that's something that you could try as well. Now, assuming if you have your Google campaign set up correctly.
Yeah. So all that is, I think it's a step further in this because it's a lot of people who want to remain on the top. I believe they have people who sit and click on the ads from different areas. So back in the days, I used to have something, I think it was called IP Blocker, and it had several different ones. So what I'm thinking are just referencing back from when I was running it is they have it in different areas. So sometimes you may have to block out a whole area because we're
right. And yeah, so that's what ClickSeize can do as well. And Google's also picked up their their security measures combined with ClickSeize. What it does is if it's like an IP address that's blocked or IP address that's coming out from like a different area that you're not targeting, what it'll do is it'll block the IP address, and then what Google will actually do is not charge you for that click. So there's that. That's something that you can also do. But inside your campaign, when you set it up, there are options for you to set it to where you're not showing your ads in different areas, and the only places that your ad are showing up is the areas you're actually targeting. So we don't want our ads showing up in different areas and things like that. So that way these other people can't really click on your ads anyways. So like I said, there's a couple of things you could do there. I would probably have to dive into your Google campaign to see if you actually got it set up the right way. And then I'd be able to probably give you a better suggestions on what you can, what your options are to clean that up.
So have you, I'm just wanting to make sure, have you ever heard of people paying a team of people to click you out so they can remain on top?
So Archer, I work with lawyers all across the US, and specifically the personal injury niche space is very, very competitive, right?
Yes.
And it does happen. Okay. So, I mean, that's not something that's unpreventable. I mean, if a competitor wants to do that, they can do that, which is why now there's Google, new security measures, new third-party software such as ClickSeize, those that they're put in place to not 100% prevent it, but reduce that. And, with how we set up for our clients, and we have a lot of clients all throughout the US, we don't really run into that issue. We make a ROI for all of our clients every single month, and we don't see anything that's bizarre, right? We have a set monthly budget. We know exactly how many leads we should generate with that budget. We know about how much we should make off of that budget, and things stay pretty consistent. So as far as with your issue, you know, there's one of two things, right? Setting up the campaign, your Google campaign, the right way with all the settings, which is something I'd have to look at. And then if all that is set up the right way and you're still seeing that issue, then you would need to partner or use that third-party software and set it up that way.
Yeah, so before I even do anything, I would definitely go with ClickSees. I had another, I think it was their competitor I had. And so one other issue I would like to address before I get back on to pay-per-click again. And so this is the thing. Say if I set a $600 budget, I didn't like the fact that it superseded over into 2,000. So what could I possibly do to stop that? I mean, when I say 600, I mean I don't want it to go beyond 600.
So you could. No, was that $600 for the month or for the day?
No, that was for the day.
Okay. So I mean, I think there are ways where Google, you can set a hard cap on Google for them to not spend over that amount. But with Google Ads, what it'll actually tell you is that on some days it might spend half of your daily budget, and then there are some days where it'll spend up to twice your daily budget. Now, this all depends on Google's algorithm. If they pick up signals that where they believe they can get you, you know, more of your leads or your whatever your goal is, then they're going to spend a little bit more. And if there are days where they don't think they're going to get you as much results, then they're going to spend a little less. So at the end of the month, everything is going to average out, you know, to your monthly budget. Does that make sense, Artra?
Yes, that makes sense. And so what are your fees to just make sure that you can go in? And but like I said before, those are my two concerns. Because that was 2,000 within a day. That doesn't make any sense.
And what you should have actually done is, you know, maybe start at a smaller budget and then work your way up, right? And just to make sure everything is running smoothly, right? You kind of just jump the gun, you know, setting it up. You got to make sure to set it up the right way so that you're not blowing through your budget. But as far as what you're looking to do, are you only looking for us to you know, manage your Google Ads campaign and making sure you're not getting these irrelevant clicks and calls? Or were you kind of or did you want us to go in and make sure that you're converting, build a campaign the right way, get a landing page up for you, and all that good stuff?
Yeah, it's there. So you would just have to go in and tweak whatever. Yeah, it's whatever you would have to do basically to get it running properly. Okay,
so can you tell me a little bit more about your business and what you're looking to do out of with Google Ads?
Okay, so this is the situation. Here in the Bay Area, we have several exclusions. I believe one is Canada. I think one is the UK. We excluded everything, and then there's certain places that we excluded in terms of even in the United States. I think a lot of place where those fraudulent or that activity was coming from Texas. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And so we excluded Texas, and it was a couple of other places. I think even so we excluded that, and that did cut back. And then out of I don't know if, like I said, if it's a click farm or whatever the situation is, then they figure out something else, and I just stopped it from there until we get it under control. So that is something that I want to do. And so basically what it is that we are, for lack of better terms, crime scene cleanup. That's what we do, everything that's associated with it. So biohazard and anything in between. And so we have pages that it connects to, like if someone just say blood. I'll just say blood. If someone click on blood, then it would go to our blood page. If someone says trauma, then they go to our trauma page. If someone click on biohazard, it goes to our biohazard. Someone
Yep. I see that.
Yeah. So.
Okay. And how much do you charge for your service? Like on average, what is like an average job for you?
The average is anywhere from 1,500 to about 2,500, somewhere there.
Okay, 1,500, 2,500 for your average job. And you said that right now you're targeting the entire US and then you're excluding some of the states?
No, so this is, I guess this would be noteworthy. Sometimes people call from like Texas and different places that they may see the ad. Is not necessarily that Bay Area just because you have Bay Area service. It's a lot of people call in for their family and say, I saw your ad. And so that's why I didn't want to exclude that, knowing that the audience is out of here and they come here for the service, if that makes sense.
Right. And so the best practice is that, I mean, you have that option, obviously, and that's what Google wants you to do. But ideally, you would want to target exactly your targeted area. Unless you're lacking traffic, then maybe that's when you can have those options turned on. But with what you are doing and what the issue that you're facing, it'd probably be more ideal to target the exact locations that you're servicing in, just so that we can, reduce that that issue that you were facing before.
Yeah.
Right. So that's something we would do. So if we were to kind of start up your campaign here, it looks like you do offer a lot of different services here, and you have your website set up. So when you were running ads, you had no problems getting phone calls, right? It's just the only problem was that the phone calls were not relevant. Is that correct?
Yeah, we actually got, so say for instance, to slow down, if I put in the exact same keyword as a phrase match, that would get the exact audience that you want, but it would be a lot less calls coming in. And even then, once the person or whoever it is to have a click for them or whatever it is, even with exact match, the same thing would happen. So that's why what made me believe, because it's one of those niches where everyone wants to be a top and fight for that position. Okay. And I'm never the kind of person that goes second stream. I'm going for the top, and so that's why I believe that's something I didn't mention to you. That I believe. Okay. Another.
So with Google Ads, your position is always going to fluctuate. You're never always going to be number one. It's just depending on, how aggressive your bidding strategy is. I mean, if your goal is to be number one every single time, that's totally fine. But really the goal is to just be really at the top of the page, like the first 3 to 4 ads. That way people can still see your ad, and you just got to have good copy, good ad copy for them to click on it. And then you want to send their traffic to a landing page. So right now, I'm assuming that you send the traffic to your website, correct? The specific page?
Yes, to the landing page, the homepage. Or what I did is, just for better Google ranking, I actually sent it to the corresponding page. So if they clicked on, just say blood, then I had it go to a blood page on our website. So okay. Everything was just corresponding.
Okay, I see that. Yeah, I'm looking at your website, and I think it's great that you are sending your traffic to that specific page. That's good practice. The only thing that's missing from what I see, and just based off data that I normally have from running with other clients, is that it's kind of lacking. It's a lot more information type of page instead of like a call to action of, hey, just call us or fill out a contact form. And then having some type of, and I see a lot of stock images on here as well. I think that might hurt your conversion rate a little bit. So there's some things that can be improved on your page, obviously. But nonetheless, I think setting it to the right page is the right thing to do. On your website, that's the only thing I would say about your website. But as far as your issues, yeah, we would just set up your campaign. Obviously have click-sees on your account, and the goal would be to reduce any of these irrelevant clicks that you may be getting.
And we're in the process of getting our new website built. It's taken down about over 7 months. It's a lot of different moving parts. And it's just about complete with, I imagine, another 3 weeks to go. And
Right.
so I have to build all the pages and everything. So would that be a problem, or
It won't be a problem because we would just send the current traffic right now to your website, just because you have a lot of different options, a lot of different services right here. So we would just send the traffic to that corresponding page, and then whenever you have your new website ready, and we can give you some tips and pointers on what to include on there, and then we would just direct traffic to your new website. But as right now, you do have a lot of services, so we wouldn't be able to build specific landing pages for you because it would just take us forever to do that. But I mean, with what you got here, we can just send it to the corresponding page on your website here.
Yeah, that's how it's set up in the Google AdWords as of now. It's set up to the corresponding page.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. So if you wanted us to hop on your campaign, we would just dive in there, take a look at everything, and then one of the goals is to reduce the irrelevant calls, irrelevant clicks, and then as well as generate you more leads that are actually quality and qualified for your business.
So how much is your fee to go in and
for this, since we're not gonna need to set up a landing page or anything for you, you already have everything set up. We would just gotta go in and set it up the right way, manage it. For this right here, it would be $1,500 a month.
$1,500 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. And then on a return, what kind of return would I be getting?
So we don't know the return, right? We generate you leads, and then it really depends if you're able to close those leads. So our job is to clean up your campaign, making sure that it's running the right way, reducing, saving you the money on not getting irrelevant clicks, wasting your time on irrelevant calls. And then your return is, going to be based off of your ability to close the leads that do come in.
Okay, so I have another question. If you can go in and just not manage it on a monthly basis, but go in to clean up everything I manage myself, how much would that be?
So if you want me to just kind of give you like a Google audit, that's something that we can do too. I'll hop in there, take a look at your ad account. I'll do like a 1-hour recorded session of me going through your ad account, and I'll send that over to you. It's $500. And that's basically us or myself going in there and taking a look at your ad account.
Okay. Okay, that's something I would be interested in.
Okay. Yeah. So is that something you would rather do than having us manage your campaign?
Yeah, because when it was going, I can manage it.
Okay, awesome.
I manage the SEO part of it anyway, so yeah.
Okay, great. And I think, and probably for you, I mean, since you don't have any problem managing it, I think you just need some like a third person to look at it and see if you're missing anything. Yeah. So that's definitely something I can do for you. What I can do is I'll send you an invoice, and then once that's paid, I would just need access to your ad account. And then I'll be able to go in and basically do that recorded Google audit for you. And I'll send that video over to you with notes.
Okay. And you have my email and everything, so yeah.
Let me just see here. Okay, it's the one that you signed up, that you booked the appointment, right? Just get info at Biohazard. Okay, awesome. So I'll go ahead. I'll send that invoice over to you. Do you know when you'd like to have me audit your campaign?
All this is going to be soon as possible. So whenever you can get to it, you can get to it over the weekend, and we can just probably start on it Monday.
Okay, awesome. So I'll send you the invoice today. If you can get it back to me by the end of today, I can probably get that audit to you by Monday or Tuesday. Is that okay?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
All right, Atra, do you have any other questions for me?
Oh, that's it.
All right. Okay, I'll go ahead. I'll send that over to you. And if anything comes up, feel free to send me an email. All right?
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, Atra. Talk to you soon. Bye. All right, guys, didn't really close for a $1,500 deal. This one was a little bit of a tougher niche, a little bit different. Didn't really want to take it on, honestly. But for 1,500 a month, we were just gonna manage it. And it really just improve what was going on. And I don't think we needed to build landing pages or anything anyways. He already had a website with corresponding pages. We were just going to direct traffic to there. He had a lot of different services, which is why we couldn't build or we didn't really need to build landing pages for that, because he already pretty much built, each page for each of his services. So that's why I offered that. But nonetheless, this was a sales call. I know I didn't have my DSLR. We're on my actually computer screen today. I dropped my DSLR in the water, which is a bummer, but I got a new one coming in May. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this sales call. Didn't make the sale on the retainer, but we did get a consulting payment option out of it, right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed it regardless, and drop a thumbs up if you found it helpful whatsoever. Subscribe to the channel, guys. I miss you guys. Hopefully you guys miss me. I'm excited to get back as soon as my new camera comes in. All right, guys, thanks.